The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. Welcome to the offices of Duke & Duke, 100 South Broad Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is now a Wells Fargo office. Hey, before we start the show, I want to send a big thanks out to LK down in Down Under. Thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate it. It wasn't necessary, but God love you. Hope when we get down there again, we can put some shrimp on the Barbie. Folks, we need to look at the DAX here and also the FTSE, especially the FTSE. That's the one with the pink chart, the first one I posted. It's a beautiful 135 pattern, and it says that the UK market is really ready to go south. We don't trade that one, but if you're in the UK, pay close attention to that one because it really is bright colors to tell us that we are heading down in that one. I also posted a DAX. That's still in an uptrend, as you can see. But it's not nearly as strong as our market. Now, we got a heads up today from our good friend, Mr. Z from Philly, and he's talking to us about the old coffee, and we're going to put it up here today. You'll see there is the prediction that Mr. Z has had for quite some time, and what we're going to do now is follow it up with what we do in the newsletter. And we're going to take a look. Uh-oh, something happened. Just a minute, boys and girls. What's going on? Hit the wrong button. There we go. There was our key support. We've gapped up now. Well, it's actually not a gap because it's been running overnight, but we've had a really big move now in coffee, about 4 cents. So if you're in the coffee, make sure it doesn't go below 102. That's the big breaking below that, then that would be it. Mr. Z's got all this laid out in the Tiger Den here, what he did and why he did it. So it's really, you're seeing markets ahead of time, which in the den here gives you a lot of things to look at. And so just keep in mind, folks, that these are all related to probability. There's none of these that are absolutely perfect. That's the main thing that you want to keep remembering. That's it's something very, very important. We will have Arch Crawford as our guest today. That's going to be something that will be very, very interesting. Now, we got two markets in play, folks. Let's get these up here. First one here is the L silver. We'll get the silver up here. We have had a nice move in silver. You know, we had the very important bottom down there at $22. If you'll remember, that was a spot on 786 or 786 retracement to the penny. It rallies up, pulled back to a 61% retracement, giving you a really good chance to buy, and that turned out to be okay. Got out of it a little too early, but today we hit 25.92. We're now trading, I think, at 25.78, but that level of 25.78 to 25.88 is the 61% retracement from the high way back in September. It's also, if you look at this really closely, you'll see the ABCD, the A being back on September 24th, the B being up there on October the 11th, the C being down there on the 29th of October, and the D would be completing today at 25.85. So whether that's going to continue or not, I don't know. But you know what, boys and girls? Nobody else does either. And that's the secret to what we do. It's taking the thing. Here, let's get this here. We'll take a look in the gold, too. We're doing the same thing in the gold market. You notice what we've done now in gold is we've taken out the highs of October. We hit a 1961 today. The ABCD on that came in at 1958. We went $3 higher. We're now trading at 1958. And so this is a completed pattern. And it's an important one, folks, because this is a 4-hour chart going way back to August. So that's the first time we've had a nice ABCD. So let's, keep that in mind as you're looking at these things, because you're watching it from a point of view of only looking at the chart. You're not looking at the fundamentals at all. And that's one of the keys that we're trying to impress upon you here, that you don't have to follow every little bits and pieces of information like's going on in all the votes that are being counted and stuff like that. I could tell you stories about voting in Terre Haute, Indiana when I was a little boy, but, frankly, I don't think it helped the country any at all, and it certainly wouldn't help anybody here at TFNN, and it certainly wouldn't help me either. So I'm not going to bring it up to say anything about it. Those of you that have not received Tom Hugard's book, or his white paper, The Best Loser Wins, should really do it. Now, I don't know if you know it or not, but Tom had his biggest drawdown ever this week. And, of course, it didn't hurt him too much, but he lost $760,000 in 2 days. And that seems like a lot of money, but actually for him, it's not. It affects him emotionally to lose that much money, but the money part is really not too much of a problem for him because he makes that kind of money back very, very quickly. In fact, he's still up for the month. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the market. Folks, this week, let's get this up here so we can take a quick look at it. Hold on one second. I want to be able to bring this up to give you a really important thing to look at, and I hope I got it. Let's get this up here. Oh, Larry, please don't let me down. Let me down. Oh, you're letting me down. No, you're not. Let's get this up here. Okay, let me get this up here. Here is the NASDAQ, folks. And, I talk about standard deviations in the newsletter. And what we did this week is we almost made 2 standard deviations up there at that 120 level. We missed it by a few points. So this tells us that something, because it's for Biden. Ruby saying, Tom just posted why Trump cannot go to the White House. Because it is forbidden. Oh, very good. That's a play on words, Ruby. Good for you. Ruby, stick with the sugar and forget the politics, darling. The sugar's still acting okay. I still think we're above 14 cents in sugar, so that's a good thing. So we'll move on to the next one. I'll be so happy when this thing is over, and it's not going to be over for a while, folks. The attorneys have got into this business now, and let me explain to you. Attorneys work by the hour, and believe me, they like to drag it out. I worked for 4 of the major firms in Los Angeles as an expert witness during 1985 and 86, and oh my gosh, I used to sit at these meetings. There'd be 4 or 5 attorneys in there at $500 an hour, and here I am, a expert witness getting paid $250, and I would just sit there. I'd sit there for 6 hours and make $1,500 and might say 3 words. I mean, so you think these bills don't add up? Oh, I couldn't believe it. It was just, I did 32 cases in 2 years, and but that's it. See what happens to the world anyway. Sarah has a son who is an attorney, but he's a corporate attorney. He doesn't get involved with anything else. He basically is involved with what do they call those things? IPOs and things like that. So anyway, let's move on to the next question someone had, which is about the hogs. I think the hogs still look pretty good. The wheat trade is still working fine. Stick with the wheat trade. It's up almost it's up just about $1,000 this morning, and we're looking for another 500 to 1,000 to take the profit up there at around 622 per pound per bushel. We're going to
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, before I posted a chart for Euro, but before we talk about it, folks, I've got an announcement to make. I got 2 emails last night from people saying they didn't believe me when I made the comment about Alan paying for that child's education. Well, I can tell you this: it's absolute true fact. Her name is Kim. I know. I hear from her maybe once a year, as does Alan hears from her more often. But on my mother's grave, on the eyes of my children, folks, he flat out did it. And he did other things too, but that one is, that's a no-brainer. In fact, we were chatting last night because I was laughing about it, and so we were talking about a few things. And he reminded me. He said, "You know the reason why I do that stuff?" And I said, "No." He said, "It was because of Jay Cross." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "That time he bought the car. Jay and I were going down to Ships to have breakfast. And in the middle of Wilshire Boulevard and Little Santa Monica, Wilshire Boulevard and, what's that cross street? I can't remember. It's right there, right by UCLA. There was a little Honda. Now, this is 1971 when the Hondas looked like Mini Coopers. They were so small. And this one was beaten up. It had dents in it and everything. It was stalled right in the middle of the street, and the young girl got out, and she was hysterical because the car had broken down, and so Jay calmed her down a little bit. And then some other people came around and stuff, and he said, "Where do you work?" And she said, "Up in the McCulloch Oil Building on the 18th floor." And he said, "Well, we're on the 20th floor." He said, "You go up." He said, "Give me your license." He said, "I'll take care of all this." And so she gave him his driver's license, and the police came. And there was nobody injured or anything, but the car was it was a disaster. And so he told him to just take the tow truck and take it into the Honda Civic dealership over in what was the name of that city? I can't remember. The one right by UCLA. I can't remember the small city, but there was a big dealership there. He went in, he bought her a brand new car, and he had it delivered to the McCulloch Oil Building and totaled the other one. I think they just took it to the junkyard. And then he had the Honda guy take the keys up. She worked for an attorney to take the keys up to give the keys to the car, and she didn't believe it. And the attorney came out, and he says, "What's going on?" And he said, "Well, you got a new car." He said, "What do you mean you got a new car?" He said, "Somebody bought you a new car." And the attorney didn't believe it, which, gee, big surprise. Anyway, we finally worked it all out, and She came in the next day to see Jay, and he was already gone. He was already heading up to his ranch up in Elko, Nevada. But she was later to be able to get it. Westwood, thank you very much, Mr. Z. Westwood and Wilshire, you're absolutely right. The ship's office there. Anyway, that's true. He just did that kind of stuff, and that's what caused Alan to be so he was always philanthropic, but later he got more and more so. So he's just been blessed. Folks, just between you and me, he made most of his money in art. I mean, he bought some stuff that I wouldn't put in my garage that was worth, but he knew what it was worth. It's just unbelievable what he did. Anyway, he's a cool guy. If you don't, I'm going to try to have him on one more time, telling some of the stories that he worked with the no-neck guys up in New Jersey when he was trying to get into the gambling business back about 15 years ago when they first legalized gambling. These stories you won't believe, but they're fun. Let's move on to the next one. We're going to have Arch Crawford. He'll give you some good information today, folks. Anyway, we're looking at some real serious numbers here today. If gold explodes above the 1970 today, boy, it could really go, folks. And the reason why it could go is that Euro chart that I just posted. Now, that is bullish. The reason why on the night of election night, we took out the lows of the previous month by about 5 pips and immediately reversed. That was down there at that 1650 level. And now we're up here to around 1880 level. That tells us that something big has happened, in the gold and silver, but they're at major ABCD patterns. So we need to pay close attention to it. As we look at it this morning, here's what we're looking at as we watch it this morning. This is what I was looking at last night in the euro. And you'll be able to see here that it's been in a very strong trend ever since 1820. We're now up into this 1880 level without too much trouble. And as we look at it today, being a Friday, and this is, something important. So here's where we are right now. I'll get this up here to take a quick look at it. It says that we're going to be up most of the day till midday, and then there might be a little bit of a sell-off. But this is a Friday in an up week on all these things, folks. It's very important that the stocks close higher because they've been up 4 days. They should be up 5 days. The key lies in that price of 35.25 in the S&P. If we get above that, that all things are going. All it did was back off 35 points last night. It does that like it's even taken even a hard breath. Here's what we were looking at yesterday or last night. I posted these early in the morning. You can see it was 5 in the morning New York time. And you'll be able to see here that the market was coming right down to that 34.58 level. We're already back to above the highs of last night that we hit at 35.04. We hit 35.08. So this market is still in a bull market, and how high it's going to go is anybody's guess. Now, I had a question from someone this morning, and that is about placing stops. Folks, you have to put a stop in the market, especially during times like this where anything could happen. I mean, there's so much stuff out there, and the news is so instantaneous that you just can't even believe it. I mean, it's just amazing. Back when we had the Iran-Iraq War, Desert Storm, that was 1991, I believe, and we could see the war actually, at midnight with Iran time, which was 4 o'clock in the afternoon California time, the rockets started to hit, and they were placed by the Navy SEALs, so they were spot on, bingo, on every one of them, and it was lit up like Baghdad was lit up like a Christmas tree. It ended up being a 2-day war. 48 hours, it was over. Man, you could see what was happening, and of course, the reaction in the market 20 years ago, you couldn't get the instant information that we have now. Now, when something happens, bada bing, bada boom, it's it. It's just incredible what happens. I can remember back in August of 1983, I had bought some gold. And I was walking back. I'd sent the order in by, I never went into the pit. I gave my orders to Lynn Waldock. They took them in for me and brought it back. I bought about 4 or 5 contracts of gold. I think it was 4. And he was walking back to the desk, and I was up in the office, and I could see him walking back. I was watching him on the TV, and by the time he got to the desk where he was to he's already placed the trade. He was bringing sending the trade up by computer. a rocket had hit a Korean airline had been shot out, or some big airline was shot out of the air, and gold went like limit up. It was like a $20,000 move in a matter of 2 minutes. Now, if you hadn't had a stop in there, you're not walking in tall cotton, folks. That'll kill you. And you got to be protected, even if it's a disaster stop. So put the stops in the market. They're not out there looking for your stops. Trust me. I prove that to myself more and more every day, the days that I was down there on the floor of the CME. These guys are pretty honest. And now electronically, they've got everything marked the way you want it. You're only paying $2 or $3 and you used to pay $50. Hey, we're going to have Sam Archibald Crawford on the line in time.
Larry Pesavento watches the markets 24/7, and now is a great time to try out his daily trading service, Fibonacci 24/7. Larry publishes videos and charts for subscribers throughout the week when warranted, and every weekend he puts out a thorough report covering worldwide markets, futures, commodities, and currencies with Fibonacci retracement levels, possible trading setups and zones, and stops and targets for all recommendations included. Larry applies the principles he's developed over decades of trading while analyzing a variety of markets for subscribers. To see for yourself the types of videos, charts, and analysis that Larry provides for his subscribers, sign up for Fibonacci 24/7 today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. You'll also gain instant access to Larry's archived subscriber webinar from earlier this year. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today. If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back. I believe we have Arch Crawford on the line this morning. How are you, Arch?
Your belief is correct.
Hey, you think I'm lucky or what? Hey, Arch, I have a question for you, buddy. How is the weather in Tucson? Oh, let me look out the window. It's okay. Hey, listen, the question that I have is, do you have an opinion on what's going on with all this voting and all this counting and all this stuff, astrologically or any other way? Because it's so far over my pay grade, I gave up.
I feel sort of the same way. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I was saying that I thought that Trump had an easy win, and I see now all these manipulations are taking place, and it's unbelievable. And I'm concerned about the nation.
Mm-hmm. Are you concerned about riots and stuff like that, Arch?
No, I'm concerned about our basic orientation.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens. I posted the chart of the oil market. What's your feeling here in the oil market, my friend?
On the what? Euro market?
Oil, crude oil, black gold, Texas tea.
Well, I had here up the 4 major indices, and I need to go there.
I can put the indices up first if you like.
The oil, hit that low back in April, March, April, and came all the way halfway back up to the 40 level, and it's been bouncing above and below the 40 level. In the meantime, the 200-day moving average has continued lower because the highs were so recent. But the 50-day moving average has just rolled over in early September. And it came right back up to it yesterday, it looks like, day before yesterday and yesterday, are right short, just a hair short of the 50-day moving average, which is now drifting lower. So I would say the picture is negative unless it can close over about 42.5.
That makes pretty good sense, and supposedly if we're going to be locked down again, not many people are driving, but I know here in Tucson the traffic is pretty heavy. It's like normal. So anyway, do you want to talk about the stock indices next? You've got the 4 group there that really looks interesting here, the S&P and Dow and NASDAQ and Wilshire.
Well, they are all so far at a lower high. And I think they opened somewhat up or unchanged this morning and have been lower since. So I think the top is in, but that's a wild-ass guess at this moment.
It's a swag
Technically,
trade.
it's got to stop going up and confirm going down by going back under the 50-day moving averages and the lows that took place in September. The only one that's broken it is the Dow Jones. The other majors have not broken those lows. So when the others, SPX, the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Wilshire 5000 break those lows, then it would be a strong negative.
Arch, we've got a question, actually 2 questions from one of our listeners over in Kansas. And the first question is there ever a time where the astrology is overridden by economics of some kind?
Well, this is my religious opinion that the astrology covers everything, but it is so complex that it is not so easy to figure out. Sometimes it's glaringly obvious when a lot of aspects are lining up or there are a combination. The more the combination of planets is happening at the same time, the more powerful the event, and that is clear and obvious. When it has a string of positives, the market will usually go up. And when there's a string of negatives, semi-squares, squares, oppositions, then it tends to go down. But nothing is absolute there that we understand.
Okay, that makes very good sense. And the second question that the gentleman has is, for trading purposes, do you use the full moons and new moons for entries?
The full moons and new moons, if aspected powerfully, can definitely do things, but I don't specifically use them for exit and entry unless there's a lot of planetary. See, the moon has a tendency to touch off all the other things that are happening. Mm-hmm. So the moon is the timer, but it doesn't always occur with what it means exactly.
Okay.
When there are other planets involved.
All right. The questions are popping in here pretty good. Another question. This one comes in from Canada. Do you have a signal that if the market would do something dramatic, like drop, more than 1,600 points in a day in the Dow Jones, would that trigger a major downtrend in your opinion?
As I said before, if it breaks those September lows, that would be almost the signal, and the signal would be firm and verified if they also break the 200-day moving averages, which are lower on all of them except, it's lower on all of them.
Okay. Now, the next chart that we're looking at, oh, by the way, Arch, when we come up to the break here, I'd like to take a couple minutes to talk a little bit about George Lindsay. But before we do that, let's take a look at this 10-year note, the TNX, and what's your opinion here?
On what?
Oh, the T-notes, the Treasury notes.
Okay, let me swing over to that chart and pull it up. It is, it broke out of the stabilized tight range on the upside and went screaming up from a little below 6.65 all the way up to just a hair short of 0.90. And I was looking for not just this, but several things that they seem to be running up into the election to make the election look good for the current administration. And they always do that if they can. They can't always do it. So this morning, yesterday they popped back down into the 70s, and this morning it's back up to the 50-day moving average at 81.82.
Okay.
So it may be topping, but it
Arch,
has to break some important levels before we can determine that.
Okay, we've got to pay a few bills. Will you stay with us, please?
All right.
Thank you.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The Bull Bear Trading Hour with Tom and Tommy O'Brien. Next.
Okay, we're back, folks. And fortunately, we have one of the gold gurus of the world on our line today, Arch Crawford. And we posted the chart of gold, and the question popped up, what's your feeling on gold?
I am very pleased with the action in gold. Breaking to a new all-time high and forming a little flag pattern since, and looks like it's breaking mildly to the upside today. It's down a buck, it says on here, but it seems like it's broke a minor trend line today, but the new high, all-time high, is up around around 2100, 2075, something like that. Mm-hmm. And if that breaks, I think it will put another pretty substantial spike to the upside. The world is going nuts, in my opinion. And I think that would be good for gold. And I love it, and I am excited about how it's acting. And on the other hand, the dollar index has just made a lower high, and today a lower low on the short-term basis. If it breaks the September 1st low, then it could turn really ugly, but it has not broken that. But it is a lower high and a lower low over the near term.
Okay, that makes pretty good sense. And the second question that someone just asked is, when you're trading gold, do you use the ETFs or do you use the commodities from the CME, or how do you handle buying gold?
I use the CME.
Okay, that sounds fair enough. Okay, we have another question.
I have no opinion about which is best, or easy to work with, really. I don't know.
Yeah, Arch, you and I have met. Well, we've been friends for 30-some years, and we meet once in a while. But when you were in New York, but this is going back 50 years ago, you actually knew George Lindsay of Three Peaks in the Domed House, didn't you?
Yeah, actually, I went over to his apartment once in Greenwich Village, and he showed me a lot of his work and how it went back and forth. And he was quite a fellow. He was a funny little guy, but absolutely brilliant. Mm-hmm.
He used to be on the Rukeyser show, as I recall. Didn't he?
See, I didn't watch the Rukeyser show.
Oh, back then. Oh, that's right. That's going back a long time ago. That's for sure. Wow, that's really good. Hey, what I'm going to do for you folks, Bill Cerubi, one of Arch's friends and my friends and everybody's friend, has sent a nice article from Cycles Magazine. In fact, I'm going to post it here into the den here this morning right now, so you'll be able to see it. This is the latest copy. I hope I will be able to do it, but you know me, who knows? It doesn't look like it's working.
The Foundation for the Study of Cycles has been going a long time. I think it was founded by Dewey.
Yeah, Edward Dewey. Yes, that's correct.
And Dewey was the roommate of David Williams, who wrote.
Get out of here!
A college roommate.
Well, no wonder he liked astrology. I didn't know that. Yeah, I met David Williams. He lived here in Scottsdale. He passed away in Scottsdale years ago, but I met him once. He's a nice guy. Well, I didn't know they were roommates in college.
Yes.
Shut the front door and raise the rent. That's a.
Well, the people who've been close to me were, my father died at 92. David Williams died at 96, and my mentor in Wall Street died at 102. So I feel like I got some time to go, but, you can't know about stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the main thing. Okay, I finally got it in there. There's for those of you in the Tiger Den, there is the Cycles magazine with the article about George Lindsay. Now, George Lindsay, he was openly gay, and this was back in the 50s and 60s where that was not the thing to do, wasn't it?
Well, he also lived in Greenwich Village in New York City, which was the center of that sort of thing. And unfortunately, when they had the HIV come along, there were so many apartments becoming available in Greenwich Village because people were dying in great numbers, gay people in particular.
Wow. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so Arch, I have one other question for you, and that is, what do you think is going to happen with the COVID? Do you have any astrological inclinations of that at all?
Oh, I just believe that the numbers are not, if you take all of the reasons people are dying, it's not that big a deal. It's bigger than the regular flu was running 60 to 80 thousand a year, and this is now running in the United States about 225,000. So it's like substantially higher than the regular flu, but because the hospitals are being paid a small amount for people who are dying of pneumonia that are not COVID-related, and they are being paid like triple that if they report it as a COVID.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of shenanigans going on with the numbers.
Yeah, that's for sure. Boy, that's it's a little scary. How are you feeling, Arch? Are you still in great shape? Last time I saw you a couple months ago, you look great. You still all right?
Yeah, I'm in good shape. My young wife always helps,
Yeah, that's right. You get them right out of high school. It's always a good thing. Arch, I have a question.
I have not done that. Jesus.
I know. Anyway, listen, you stay on the green side of the grass, my friend.
I'm not
and
a cradle
only read the obituaries once a day. That's the key.
She was in a cradle when I was in Vietnam, however.
Oh, dear. Yeah, tell you were you with the CIA? You were in intelligence, weren't you, when you were in the Army?
I was in intelligence, yes.
Wow. Well, that's pretty good. Well, listen, we're going to have you on again soon, so you stay safe out there, my friend, all right?
Do I have half a minute?
Tell the folks how they can reach you.
Google Arch Crawford, and I'm in Tucson, Arizona, not a couple of long blocks from Larry. Yep. And the phone number is 520-577-1158.
All right. Listen, you take it easy, and we'll get together for the holidays for sure, since we're not flying anywhere. That's
Do I have
a given.
another few seconds?
Yeah. Oh, yes, we do. In fact,
I was in the headquarters of the CIA in Vietnam for a month or two. I was just driving a major around and doing whatever he needed to have done. But what's funny was I was working.
Arch, hold the story. We got to pay a few bills, and you got 3 minutes when we come back. Okay.
Okay.
We'll be with the major in the Jeep. 877-927-6648.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step by step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
With markets trading with extreme volatility and peaks and troughs everywhere, regardless of what you're looking at in the markets, this is a great time to see the type of analysis Basil Chapman delivers for his subscribers every market day with the Opening Call newsletter. Basil has been analyzing markets, providing his take for subscribers to his trading services since 1984. Every morning, Basil publishes an update for his subscribers, along with weekend and evening updates when warranted. The Opening Call provides traders a daily market overview with regard to the direction of the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, along with specific recommendations, including stops and targets. You also gain instant access to Basil's subscriber webinar archive from earlier this year, a dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. Ride the Chapman wave today by signing up for the Opening Call newsletter on the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hey, we're back, folks, and we're talking with Arch Crawford, and he's riding in a Jeep with the CIA in Vietnam, just like the MASH unit there. Go ahead, my friend. What do you...
Yeah, I was in the headquarters there for 1 or 2 months. And they have the head of the military was a general, and the head of the CIA was CIA. And what's funny was that I was, in 71, I was working for the on Monroe Street in New York at the Harris Trust and Savings Bank. And a couple blocks away, I walked into a bookstore. And I frequented this bookstore, so it wasn't the first time I'd been there, but I walked in, and there was the CIA head from Vietnam. I said, "Hi, Murray." He said, "What are you doing here?"
Oh, my gosh, what a small world. Oh, that's good. Well,
that's my story.
I imagine you could have a lot of stories about those times, wouldn't you? But that's for a different time. We have to go now, but thanks for being on, Arch. We'll have you in again soon, and stay safe, and may God bless. Okay, buddy?
Delighted. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you. Okay, there's another stand-up guy, folks, Arch Crawford. And guess what, boys and girls? There's not going to be a show tomorrow. It will be on Monday. This has been a rough week here in Tucson. We've had some serious things happen to some of our neighbors, but we're working through all that. Everything's going to be good, and hopefully we'll get through all this stuff that's going on in the news and get back to normal, if there is such a thing as normal anymore. But try to do something for somebody that doesn't have much, folks, because there's people out there that are flat out hurting. And that, I think, is very important to remember. So keep every day as a day that you can always remember, and you'll always be a happy camper. That's for sure. Anyway, we'll see what's going on here with these markets as we go through here. And we'll be back here on Monday at the usual time. And we'll have a couple of new guests, I believe, this coming week that I'm going to surprise everybody with. And that also will be some fun. May God bless, folks.